out here in Tubonge.
This is Tubonge.
So welcome back. We're here in another episode of Tubonge. Today we have a special guest. Goes by the name of Mbuki Motocross enthusiast, motocross champion. Division is East and Central Africa champion MX1. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so tell us something about yourself before we get into what we're here for.
So my name is Mbuki. I'm 26 years old, and motocross has been a part of my life since I was around 7 or 8 years old is when I started.
Damn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been racing, competing for Kenya, raced outside of Kenya, and that's pretty much it. Just motocross is pretty much my life here.
Yo, that's crazy, man.
Appreciate
that's
it, man.
crazy, man. Yo, how many guys have following the talent till now, man?
Not a lot. There's definitely it's a small market. There's a couple people that are into it. So I wouldn't say like a huge number, but just a small about 70 or 80 riders we have here in Kenya.
Wow. Let me ask you, bro, like, tell us how your journey into the world of motocross began, and what inspired you to start racing?
So yeah, I think it was around 2005, maybe 2006. I had a friend that I wanted to hang out with one weekend, and he told me he was at the motocross track, and I never knew what that was. So I was with my dad, and we went to hang out with him, and we went to the track, and we saw kids racing and riding. It was mostly practice. I just saw kids on bikes, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So luckily I was with my dad, and I looked at him and I said, hey, I want to do this. I never knew my friend used to ride. So I was like, even me, I want to start, and I want to be out there with those kids. And then my friend ended up selling me his bike, and that's how it started.
Humble beginnings, huh?
Yeah, that's how it all began.
Jeez. So shout out your pops, innit?
Yeah, hey, that was a clutch moment, because I think if I was with my mom, I don't know, man.
Things would have changed.
Yeah, it would have been tricky.
Yeah, facts, man. You know how old ladies be, man.
Yeah, it was a good thing I was with my dad, So ended up buying that bike, and
they're on the spot.
Well, not on the spot. Like I think a week or two later, he had a second bike that he wasn't using, and then that's how it started,
God damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Challenges?
Throughout the years, well, in the beginning, so when I started with that second-hand bike, it comes with a lot of problems, and it wasn't like in really good condition. So, it'd break down all the time. I'd come up to the line and then the bike won't start, or, just small stuff like that. But then after so many disappointments, we figured, we might as well just get a new bike and start from there. So that's about it.
So like right now you can basically pick out a bike and take it apart and put it back together.
Yeah, well, it depends, because there's two different bikes, there's a 4-stroke and the 2-stroke. 2-stroke is a little bit much easier to work on. Not so many parts, that are in a 2-stroke, so it's a little bit much easier to understand. I could definitely take it apart and put it back together. But the 4-strokes are the newer versions of race bikes, and those ones have a little bit more parts, and you have to have timing, and it's almost like a car pretty much, with valves and all those complicated parts. So with 4-stroke I could only do so much in terms of the engine, but yeah.
Let me ask you, man, because most guys, okay, I won't say most guys, but most Kenyans, I don't know if I'm chomaing for us, but we don't really know much about the motocross life,
Okay.
Especially in Kenya. Like, what's what kind of challenges are there in the Kenyan industry for motocross, which you think can be looked into and probably be changed for the better in the future?
So yeah, ever since I started, I think till just about now, we've only had literally one, maybe two tracks. Since 2005, I think we had one here at Jamhuri, that I started on, and then there was another one in Naivasha, but that one's a little bit smaller. But yeah, so I think we could definitely have more tracks all around Kenya. Oh yeah, there's one in Vipingo that's still pretty new, but I think what would be really nice is if we have many different tracks in different parts of Kenya, and then that way we can we can get more riders in different regions, and then the competition goes up, and once competition goes up, then everybody's getting better.
Everyone's happy.
But yeah, so if we have maybe 1-2 tracks, then it it limits a lot of possibilities, I think.
I think Kenya should look into it, man. Ministry of Sports, unasikia, huh?
But actually, speaking about that, this year, in January, I just managed to finish my track. I was building my track, something I always wanted to do. Yeah, this year January, I finished my track in this side's for Masinga. You know where the Seven Forks Dams are?
No, I'm not sure.
But those sides for Embu. Yeah, we built a track over there that's about 2 kilometers long, and
Damn.
it's a really sick track that I can't wait to ride it all the time.
Photos, nini?
Yeah, there's definitely photos. I can even show you guys some videos. We made some nice videos.
You'll see them right there on the link.
I'll show you guys, but yeah, it's something cool that I'm excited for.
Tell me, because I know you've traveled. You've traveled with your bike. You've gone Maju, as we say. How is it like? Like, what's the whole process? Taking your bike from Kenya to wherever you're going to compete, and do you go as yourself, or when you're going to because I know you represent Kenya,
Yeah.
So like, does our government help, or is it a whole like personal thing in which you're...
It's more personal, a little bit with the club, not so much government help, but so it depends. When we go to we have what they call MX of Africa Nation, where once a year a country in Africa will host a race where everybody is invited to come and compete for their country. So I've done a couple of those stuff. In fact, last year I went to South Africa in August. Ended up finishing 12th in MX1 category, which was pretty tough. In South Africa they have guys that are crazy fast. I mean, they take it as a job, so
It's a different.
it's not like here where it's like we do it for fun. I mean, there it's like if they do it properly, they'll end up getting sponsors, they'll get money, they'll get bikes. So then you as a rider, you're like, I think I might, spend more time practicing that, if I get better, somebody might buy me a bike or something like that. But I ended up going there and I finished 12th, which wasn't bad, so yeah, that's it.
Now, after us, fastest lap time.
It depends, it depends
On the
because
track.
the track always changes. So what we do here in Nairobi is that after every race the track layout will change, so it just depends for that day, because you can't compare it with a different day or a different race. But I think we had a race last month, and my fastest lap time was about 1:38. 1 minute 38 seconds, and I'm positive that was the fastest lap time for the whole day.
That was last
That was
weekend.
last month. Not really last weekend.
I
but
came to watch your race.
It was last weekend.
Yeah, no, it was last weekend.
Yeah, two weekends ago.
Yeah.
2 weekends ago.
Hey, bro, let me
no,
tell
no,
you, man.
yeah.
You guys should come and watch these things happen, bro. Because I'm telling you, guys be doing stuff with the bikes you ain't even know can be possible, man. It was at the Jamhuri grounds. No, right behind Jamhuri grounds.
Yeah, in that area, I think they call it Jamhuri Showground, but there's a motocross track over there, next to the polo ground, actually.
We'll actually put probably. I think you guys have a next race coming up soon.
Yeah, so next race is it's actually in 2 weeks, but that one is in Uganda, and it's Central Africa Challenge. Unfortunately, I won't be going for that race this month, but then they get to come back to Kenya in December, and that race is gonna be in Vipingo.
Jeez.
So that's also a big part of a motocross event here in Kenya.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. I'm saying again, bro. Like my guys, we have to support, man. Like I
Definitely.
think when I came to watch a race, that was I think I probably my first race coming to watch professionally. You know,
Yeah.
it seemed serious, you know, but it wasn't that serious the way you're saying it.
It's not that, especially here in Kenya. It's not that serious. I guess people do it more for fun, like as a pastime. But once you go outside, like so, I got to train, and actually I got to do this as a profession in the US for about 4 years.
Jeez.
And there it's serious because there
You feel me?
it's intense. You know, kids at 7-8 years old, they decide that this is what they're gonna do for their life. So the parents will put everything into it, and I mean, school would be like a second choice, so they'd probably do homeschool, but yeah, they take it serious to where they can even make money from it if they do it well. In fact, the top kids, 16, 15 years old, they definitely sign contracts in the US, which is crazy. But it just shows you that they take it completely
to a different level.
Yeah.
I always ask myself, like, what's the difference, man? Like, because like in football,
Mm-hmm.
the difference is basically they have facilities,
Mm-hmm.
sponsors, a wider range of a platform.
Yeah,
It's the same thing.
It's the same with motocross. Once there'll definitely be sponsors. There's brands that will want to sponsor riders. Then there's also facilities. Like in the US, there's training facilities. They actually call them like camps or something like that, where it's instead of going to school and learning, it's like you're learning motocross. So like a basic training day would be like, because I did this for 4 years. We would practice from Monday to Friday, and every day we'd put about 6 hours on the bike.
Damn.
And then after riding those 6 hours, I mean not straight, definitely with breaks in between.
Yeah.
After that, you have like another 2 hours in the gym, to improve your physique. And that was Monday to Friday, the whole time. Saturdays and Sundays were more of if you want to go race, you can race, or if you want to take the weekend off, you can take the weekend off. But the best way to measure progress was to race. So we spent most of the weekends racing. That way you can gauge and see how you're doing and things like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
So that's basically the life of a motocrosser.
Yeah.
Literally Monday to Monday, huh?
Yeah, Monday to Monday. It's basically a full-time job, and I
Damn.
think that's why I enjoyed that the most. And I was in the US. That was pretty much one of the best times of my life, because it's like work, but then it's not so much work, because when you
enjoy
have fun,
it, huh?
it's not so much as a stress. You're not like, I have to go. It was like, I have to go and ride. And I mean, definitely you'll have days that suck. People get injured and things like that, but for the most part, it was definitely fun, and I didn't see it as so much of a job.
I'd like to know, like, bro, describe the feeling, like, of when you're on the bike and you're racing, or you're just about to, hit the clutch and take off. Because, bro, I saw this man take off a whole wheelie, bro. A whole wheelie for like, what 30 meters?
Yeah, it's, I don't know,
Jeez.
it's hard to explain that feeling. It's, I mean, for me, when I'm riding,
Everything else just...
nothing else matters. I don't think about things that I normally do, or just all your problems, like, they go away, and you enter a different world where it's just you and the bike. So it's like you have this vision, and nothing else matters. You're not thinking about what you're gonna eat or what you're gonna do for the weekend. You're just there in the moment, which is cool because I feel like it cancels every other thing that you think about, and you just have one thing to focus on.
By the way, I know you've won many races.
Right? Yeah.
Couple. A couple is even an understatement, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This Mandem is number one. Tell me some of the most memorable wins you've ever.
I had one recently. I think it was last year in December. We had what we call I told you, that Central Africa Challenge, and so we have riders from Uganda and all Central Africa, and so there's I ended up winning that race, and the reason it was so memorable is because earlier in that year, when the Ugandans came, I had no chance. Like I finished second. I was battling with another rider. He's called Fortune. He's from Uganda. He's also really good. So yeah, in the beginning of the year, he came and he completely crushed me. I think first race I was able to lead about 3 laps. Second race I was able to lead about 4 laps. But then in the end, he ended up winning all races. And then fast forward to later in the year, last year in December, I was able to crash him all the races. So I think that was pretty cool. And also for me, it was like, I think that was one race where I was like, I had to push the whole time. When you have competition and you have to work hard for it, and it makes the win a lot much better, compared to just riding. And
it's much more satisfaction.
Yeah, so that one, definitely that's a big moment for me. And I think a couple of races in the US, I was able to win local races. So not really like big important races, but for me, I mean, coming from Kenya,
it means a lot.
It was something big for me. So
facts.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
And how do you balance all this, bro? Because I also know you have your own personal life. How do you balance this shit out, man?
It's I mean, it's hard. I feel like there's always time for everything. But for me, I don't know. It's weird because it's been pretty much all of my life. So it's my job. I'm a trainer. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You have your academy?
To train. Not yet. It's upcoming. Setting up the track and everything. But yeah, right now I work at off-road in Karen, where you have you can come, even if you don't have a bike, you get bike, you will get a gear, and then you have instructors, and you can ride for 1.5 hours. So that's where I'm working there as an instructor.
And what age group do you train? Because I'm sure kids from all ages come.
Yeah, it depends. Maybe not so much beginners. I'll do some beginners here and there. But even from 6 years old, even there's some kids that are young that there's a kid that I started training recently. He's about to turn 5. He's 4 on the bike, and which is pretty cool. I feel like if you start at an early age, then you have so much more to learn. It's the best.
Yo, my guy, this is just an insight of life as a motocrosser, bro. There's a lot of sports going on in Kenya which some of us don't even know about, because I'm sure there's some guys we're producer. Ulijua kuna kitu kama hizi? Yeah. Wala.
Yeah.
I thought you would say that.
I used to know someone who used to do that.
For real?
Yeah. Who used to do what?
Motocross.
Motocross, yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, entry level wise, what would be the entry level for someone who's interested in that stuff?
What do you mean entry level?
As a competitor?
Even getting into the sport. I'm I've seen, that's cool. How do I get started? Getting involved?
So first thing is definitely you have to find a bike, but what I would advise is you don't want to just go ahead and buy a bike, because you don't know if you'll keep doing it or something like that. So you can definitely come out to off-road in Karen, on Bogani Road there with this Catholic University.
Yeah.
So there's that place there where you can rent a bike, rent gear, and do a couple sessions, do it for maybe 3 months or something, and then you're like, okay, is this something that you want to continue and things like that. Once you want to continue, then you can start to look for a bike. And bikes are easy to get locally, or even people get bikes from outside South Africa, US, or whatever. once you do that, then you're in it.
How much is the bike?
Yeah, roughly. How much we're looking at?
It depends. For just entry level, I mean, you there's people that go and buy brand new bikes. Those are expensive. So, for my bike, I ride a 450 Yamaha.
We'll drop the photo. That shit is fly.
It's I think it was about $9,000, with taxes and everything. I got that one from the US. But then you have other bikes that are maybe a little bit more expensive, like KTM is about 11,000. But the good thing with a brand new bike is that it's new, so you don't have to worry about parts going wrong or things like that. So.
And what's the difference between, let's say, the KTM and?
It's they're all a little bit similar. Obviously, you have bikes that turn really good or handle really good. KTM's a little powerful, durable, and the parts in a KTM are just more higher quality, and it's like they put a lot of engineering on that bike. So I guess that's why they make it so expensive. But for Yamahas, yeah, they're still powerful. What I have is a Yamaha, and they're durable, and so you can go a long time without having to service it, or it can just take much more, and things like that. But Suzuki's are known to corner very well, and Kawasaki's are just they're known to be monsters of a bike and things like that. So it's more preference. I feel like everybody has a personality which it'll show on the bike as well. So something like that.
Let me ask you: is it almost the same thing? Like, cause I saw this like recently. There was this super bikes. They also do racing in Kenya.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Like, cause this is a dirt bike and his is a super bike.
So,
but like,
dirt bikes are they're off road. Dirt, mud in a closed circuit.
Yeah, but like,
what do you mean?
but like in the sense of handling, okay, not handling, but like
super bikes are definitely more powerful. So dirt bikes go from about 50cc to 450 or maybe 500cc. But super bikes, you get bikes that are 1000cc's.
Have you ever thought of doing it?
No, I don't think so, because I don't know. Riding 1000cc is crazy. I mean, I don't know. I think it just takes a lot of balls.
It's off for you, that one.
That one is scary because the speeds, you're going 200-300 kilometers an hour.
Jeez.
And, that speed, I feel like a small mistake can be huge.
You're gone.
But it just depends. I think with motocross the speeds are a little bit less. I mean, they're still pretty fast. You're going in a closed track, and jumping is what I like about motocross. Is you're able to jump, and
you're more free. Huh?
Yeah, and on the road it's, I don't know, it's maybe not for me, man. Yeah, like
trust, everyone has the vice.
Off-road is for me, for
in the
sure.
tracks of Nairobi.
Yeah.
Soon to come in Embu.
Yeah, that's gonna be sweet. We're trying to organize for a fun race later this year, around October, September, where we'll have a big event over there. Just a fun race to introduce the members to that new track. So that's gonna be sweet.
What advice would you give someone who wants to start, or someone who is already in it but isn't as good as they want to be yet? Like, what advice would you like?
Well, it depends. I feel like first you have to answer if you want to do it for fun, or you want to take it seriously. And then once you answer those questions, then you can, if you're trying to do it for fun, go out with your friends and enjoy, have a good time. But also, if you're trying to get better at it, you always have to practice hard, and you can't give up. Definitely there's going to be days that suck. You end up getting injured, or you break your hand or your wrist and things like that. But then at the end of the day, you're gonna heal, and you can't give up. One thing you always want to do is you just get back into it, or remember the reason why you started in the first place. And I feel like that goes for everything. It's not really
yeah,
motocross.
that's true. That's true. Hey, damn, bro. Man, I think me personally, there's no way I'll have went to motocross, man. Me, my old lady would have been like, yo, get your ass back in the crib, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's that. Yeah, definitely.
Bro, yeah, cause my guy, like, I saw some kids falling, no cap. That shit look a bit scary, man.
It is.
You know?
It sucks at the moment. Like, yeah, I broke my wrist. Broke a couple bones, and at the moment it definitely sucks, because even when it happens to me, I'm like, I don't wanna,
like, damn.
I don't wanna see a bike, and when it happens, it's like, even hearing the bike, it's like, oh, you don't want to hear it anymore. But then it only goes for so long, you know. You end up healing, and then you're like, you know, I want to get back on it. So
It's how you bounce back.
yeah, you have to, you know, you know, you're gonna fall. It's okay to fall, but you know, you don't want to stay down on the ground. You know?
How you get back up, man?
Yeah.
Any safety tips?
Yeah, for motocross, you definitely want to make sure you have a good helmet. You know, I think that's a good quality helmet is number one. You always want to protect your head. Boots as well. You know, you want to get, you know, good quality boots that are gonna keep your legs safe and things like that. Some knee pads and things. But even riding, you know, just riding respectfully, you know, to others. You know, you can't just, you know, ride the track anyhow. You gotta remember there's people out there, so you gotta be mindful of that, and you know, just yeah.
Damn. Bro, by the way, let's just digress a bit, man, because I feel like I know you're a motocross rider, you know.
Yeah,
but tell me, there's a team you support in this world, eh?
Okay.
I want to hear which team it is, because if it's Man U, my guy, this podcast is done right now.
I honestly, apart from motocross, I honestly don't watch any other
No other sports?
No.
Voila.
I mean, I like to play a little bit of golf. I started playing golf not too long ago. But like football or basketball, I'm not a big I feel like once you're in motocross, that's it, you know. You don't need anything else.
One love.
You know, that's it. So,
hey, my guy, I'll get football. We have many.
It's a football. Once you know, you can,
damn.
I was expecting you to say F1 or something.
You know what I'm saying?
F1, I mean, through that no. I like the two wheels. I think F1 is sweet, you know. I feel like F1 is really cool, but it's like I've never really had interest in you know, sitting down and watching a full F1 race.
Yeah, no, Kabashi takes long, and I'm more hating on F1. You know, don't get me wrong, but like,
I feel like it's cool. You know, the speeds they go are crazy, especially around towns. You know, it's pretty much, you know, the peak of motorsport. But I don't know. Yeah, I think for me, motocross just stuck with me. That I felt like those other sports, they never really, you know, stuck with me like that.